Primal silence blankets a planet where the noise of cities and the clatter of wheels are not yet heard. Endless wild forests stretch to the horizon, and rivers flow completely clean and free of dams. A group of people walks across the primeval steppe, completely blending in with the wild world around them. Imagine this day, the last evening of wild nature before humanity forever changes the face of the earth. Welcome to the chronicle of the sunset of a great era, to the very last day before the advent of civilization. We are used to living in a world of concrete, glass, asphalt, and endless digital screens. It seems to us that this artificial environment has existed forever, from the beginning of time. But human civilization is merely a moment, a tiny flash in the history of the planet. Let's transport ourselves back in time, tens of thousands of years ago, into the twilight of the wild world. The sun slowly sets below the horizon, painting the sky in blood-red and golden tones. No artificial lighting except for the fading sparks of a primitive campfire. The air is so clean that it smells of damp earth, ozone, and wild herbs. In the darkness of the forest, a predator's muffled growl echoes, but the people by the campfire feel like part of this ecosystem. They are not the masters of nature. They are its humble and vulnerable guests. Every night for them is a real struggle for survival, full of unpredictable dangers. They have no permanent homes, hospitals, stores, or warm beds. Their world is limited by the radius of a day's march and the tribe that replaces the entire society for them. But on this particular day, the air is filled with a strange, barely perceptible premonition of change. None of them, of course, suspects what global turning point evolution is leading to. They simply gather roots, prepare the game they hunted, and look at the stars. For them, these stars are living deities, spirits of ancestors, or the dangerous eyes of the night sky. They do not know mathematics, do not write laws on paper, and do not build empires. Their knowledge is passed down by word of mouth, by the campfire, preserving the very essence of human experience. A master's hand carefully chips off a piece of flint, creating an ideal spearhead. This axe or scraper is the pinnacle of the technology of that time, embodying all the genius of the species. Time will pass, and these stones will become ancient artifacts in the glass display cases of museums. But for now, this is a matter of life and death, the guarantee of a full dinner and the family's safety. Children play by the water, knowing neither school troubles nor the worries of the adult world. Their life is short, harsh, but incredibly honest and close to pure biochemistry. No artificial depression, no existential crisis from loneliness. They live in a deep, unbreakable connection with the rhythms of the earth and the changing seasons. A cold night arrives, and the tribe huddles closely around the life-saving warmth of the fire. A shaman beats a drum made of hides, sending the sounds of ancient rituals into the darkness of the night. They ask the spirits for mercy, a successful hunt, and protection from the evil spirits of winter. This song contains all the pain, hope, and fragility of human existence. At the exact same moment on the other side of the planet, other people look at the same moon. They are separated by mountains, oceans, and thousands of kilometers of impassable thickets. They speak different languages, but their fears and dreams are absolutely identical. The earth is huge, wild, majestic, and completely belongs to the elements. The human footprint on it is so small that it is impossible to spot from space. Neither the smoke of factories, nor the lights of megacities, nor traces of global forest clearing. The planet breathes deeply, free from the burden of our future greatness. Why was this familiar way of life bound to inevitably collapse? What forced the nomads to leave their familiar paths and take up the hoe? The answer lies in the relentless pressure of climate and the growth of human numbers. Wild nature became insufficient to feed the expanded tribes of hunters. This last evening before civilization is the boundary between two completely different universes. Tomorrow, one of them will drop a seed of wild wheat into the soft soil for the first time. Tomorrow, someone will drive a wild animal into an enclosure for the first time, depriving it of freedom. This small step will seem to them simply a convenient way to get food. But it is at this moment that humanity's great captivity to its own comfort will begin. A settled lifestyle will demand walls, barns, laws, and constant protection. Surpluses of grain will appear, and along with them, inequality, wealth, and the first wars for the harvest. The very anatomy of humans will change. We will become shorter due to an impoverished diet. New diseases will appear, brought by domesticated animals in crowded settlements. We will trade the freedom of endless expanses for the security of city walls. But while the walls are not yet built, the earth sleeps under the cover of primeval night. The wind rustles in the crowns of giant trees that have never known an axe. Rivers carve out their winding channels where they please, without artificial dams. In this silence lies the greatness of the world we left behind forever. You can close your eyes and try to imagine this clean, untouched air. Air that contains not a single gram of plastic, exhaust fumes, and industrial dust. This was the cradle of our species, where we learned to walk and speak. We grew up in wild conditions, hardened by the harsh struggle for every day. And although today we live in skyscrapers, the exact same blood flows in our veins. The blood of those very hunters who looked at the stars on the last evening of freedom. Why does modern man so often feel a longing for wild nature? Why are we so drawn to the mountains, to campfires, and deep forests? It is the genetic memory of our brain longing for the home we destroyed. We built a civilization, but lost that primeval lightness of being. For all the benefits of progress, we paid a colossal price, chronic stress and alienation. It is astonishing to realize how fragile our great technological empire is. A global cataclysm is enough for concrete cities to collapse and become overgrown with grass, and then over the ruins of the megacities, that very primeval evening will return once more. The circle will close, returning the planet to its true owners, wild nature. But as long as civilization stands on its feet, we continue rushing forward into the unknown, creating new algorithms, artificial intelligence, and rockets for flights to the stars, forgetting where it all began under the canopy of ancient stars. This contrast between a cave campfire and neon light is breathtaking. We journeyed from a naked human with a stick to the conqueror of the atom in a split second of cosmic time, and the price of this path is exhausted resources and loneliness amidst empty concrete walls. Think about this the next time you step out of a stuffy office under the open sky. Feel the asphalt beneath your feet, hiding the ancient, living earth underneath. We are children of the wild world, accidentally locked in the cage of our own cities. And this nostalgia for the wild will never fade away deep within our subconscious. The history of civilization is an astonishing drama of humanity growing up. With all its mistakes, wars, brilliant breakthroughs, and great discoveries, we could not stay in the caves forever. Evolution demanded movement, but sometimes it is useful to look back and remember that silence before the storm. To remember that very evening when the world still belonged only to the wind and beasts. We will continue uncovering the secrets of our history in upcoming episodes of the channel. Every new video is a new journey deep into human nature. Do not let the noise of civilization drown out your inner voice and the memory of your ancestors. Stay curious, explore the underside of reality, and think for yourself. After all, understanding our past is the only key to our future. Soon we will open another mesmerizing page from the secret book of humanity. Are you ready to embark on the next mental journey with us? Time flows inexorably forward, erasing the boundaries between eras and civilizations. Cherish that fragile flame of reason that we carried through millennia of darkness. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the continuation. See you on the other side of history.